Adrien Brody was born on April 14, 1973 in New York, USA. The son of a professional historian and a photographer, Brody has been involved in artistic circles since childhood, where everyone was a little bit weird. But there's no other way to explain why, instead of a normal childhood, he was performing in cheap theaters at the age of 12 and trying to portray either an intellectual or a crazy poet. His youth was also SOSO, with no money and no connections. Almost the main star of school plays, he realized even then that it was better to become an artist than to load boxes in a warehouse. He studied at Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School, which is no Harvard, but at least they taught him how to cry on camera when the director doesn't pay. Cinema came into his life in the 80s. At first, he was shoved into some passable TV shows where he either died in the first episode or just stood there with a cup of coffee in the background. But he stubbornly pushed forward because, those who don't take risks eat noodles in Hollywood. His first notable breakthrough was the movie The Thin Red Line, 1998, where he hardly said a word, but everyone loved his face and I don't understand where I am and why they're shooting mode. But the real boom came in 2002 with Roman Polanski's The Pianist. There Brody played a Jewish musician hiding from the Nazis. For the role, he lost 15 kilograms, gave up his phone, apartment, and even his girlfriend. The latter, by the way, didn't hurt him too much, because girls didn't care about him. And what do you think? He won his first Oscar. He became the youngest winner in the Best Actor category. 29 years old and already an Oscar in his hands. With this Oscar, Brody took part in The Silliest Kiss on television with Halle Berry right on stage, so history also remembers him as someone who does not know what personal boundaries are. After that, he decided that now he could act in everything. There were hits, do you remember The Great King Kong in 2005, and complete failures, such as Splice or Survival Game. Brody was never afraid of experiments, but sometimes these experiments looked like agreeing to do a movie for free pizza. Nevertheless, he had his own style, a little depressing, a little eccentric, like a guy who can't choose between an art house and a blockbuster. In the 2010s, he disappeared from the radar for a while, either going to China to shoot a watch commercial, or becoming the face of a fashion brand, or trying his hand at music, and I don't advise you to listen to that. But then he came back again, and it was great. He starred in Wendy Van Gogh, 2018, where he again showed that he knows how to play artists who have been thrown a curveball by life. In the 2020s, he returned in full force, TV series, auteur films, even some strange comedies. In 2025, everything is as fresh as pies. Brody is back in the spotlight, having won his second Oscar for The Brutalist. He's old, but he can still do it. His lifestyle is a separate series. He likes to wear coats like a private detective, and on the red carpet he appears in golden sneakers or a hat, as if he had just come out of a bunker. He loves art, collects paintings, and even dabbles in painting himself. Interestingly, Brody is one of the few actors who won an Oscar and didn't completely slip into trash. Yes, there were strange films, but he was always somewhere between mainstream and art house, which is why he is now considered a style icon and a bit of a weirdo, without whom Hollywood would wither away. Now, in 2025, his name is back among the tops, and not only because he is talented, but also because he knows how to remind us of himself at the right time. He'll appear in a TV series, or at a fashion show, or do something stupid so that the tabloids remember who the main hipster in Hollywood is.